29th, Chris Algieri. That's going to be your first PBC experience. Have you been kind of paying attention to what the events have been like and this, that, and the other? Like what are your thoughts on
PBC? Seems like a good concept, to be honest with you, because obviously when you walk out the ring, towards the ring, you walk out on your own. You get the lights are shining on you as a fighter. I think some fighters might freeze or might maybe get shy, but some people might use that as an advantage and maybe think, wow, I like this. I think me as a fighter, I think I like that. You're walking out the ring. Normally I walk towards the ring with like security around me and like 10 different people, and I'm getting squashed, and the aisle's really narrow, and I'm like, oh man, can't wait to get in the ring so I can breathe.
People can see me.
Yeah. So I think with PBC, I think you walk out the ring and you're like on your own, and gives you time to kind of just relax and chill and enjoy the atmosphere. Walk to the ring. The ring's not as busy as it used to be, like in the previous fights. So yeah, it's gonna be different, and I like the way it looks. The way the layout is. I'm quite excited come May 29th, because obviously I've never fought on a PBC. I've been to an event, I've been to a couple of the events, and I really like them.
Yeah. So
I'm quite excited. I mean, what Al-Haim is doing with boxing now, I think he's just taking it to a different level now. So yeah, I'm excited.
Now, there's a lot of, obviously there's nothing official yet. There's a lot of rumors and rumblings about, PBC might create their own titles, this, that, and the other. Do you think that's a good thing for boxing, a bad thing for boxing?
I think it could be a good thing. Because obviously then, when, like nowadays, you say, who's the world champion? There could be like 4 world champions in a division.
Right.
Well, who is the number 1? They're gonna say. They're gonna say, you got WBA number 1 is this guy, WBC number 1 is this guy, WBO, and you got IBF. So I think with the PBC, if they do bring their own title out, they probably have just the 1 world champion in that division. So makes it. Then you'll see the real champion. You'll see who the best is in that division. The best will have to fight the best if they want to become a world champion.
Right.
I think that's what makes it even better. So I'll have to fight the fights like Keith Thurman's out there, and the Bradleys out there. But I think you have to fight the top guys, the Maidanas, and to show yourself as the best number 1 fighter, because there's only 1 title. A lot of fighters might win a title, but they might not fight anyone decent. Like, for example, look at Kell Brook. He's an IBF champion, the world champion. But who's he fought since he won the IBF title? Joe Jordan and Frankie Gavin. Now, no world champion should be allowed to fight guys like that. These are like B or C class opponents. They fight. I think they're disrespecting being a world champion. You might just give your title up and say, look, I'll fight these guys. I'm not capable to hold the world title because I'm not gonna fight the top guys. You might as well say that instead, because I think one thing about the PBC, what they're gonna do then, if there is that 1 world title, then the best will have to fight the best. And if a guy is a world champion, he can't take the easy route. He can't fight these low division guys. He has to fight the best fighters in that division, because there'll be other guys who are hungry for that world title. So that's what makes it really exciting. I'm really excited to see what the future holds in PBC. Just like UFC, for example, there's only that 1 world champion, the UFC title. So I'm like, what Dana White's done is they've not made 10 different titles. They made just that 1 title, and with that 1 title, whoever wants to become a world champion has to fight for that world title. So there'll be 2 guys who are capable to be a champion. Only 1 guy will win the fight and be a world champion. The other guy might just fall short, become the number 2. 1 guy, number 3, number 4. So I think it'll be worth having something like that, because then it won't confuse the boxing fans, and then people know exactly where us fighters stand and who the number 1 is.
The one thing, I don't know if they've changed it. I think they might have. I'm not 100% sure, but I know for the first PBC card, I don't think the fighters were allowed to pick their ring entrance songs. Now, you always come out with the same song.
I've done it a few times, yeah, I'm the man.
Well, before I ask this question, why that song?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's at that time it was quite big. And
Just motivates you?
It's a motivation. Yeah, it motivates you big time because obviously all eyes are on you. You're the man. You walk through the ring and kind of gets you in gear for a fight. You know what I mean?
How important is that?
Music, I think, could be important. To be honest with you, whenever I walk to the ring, I'm always praying in my mind anyway, so you don't really hear the music. You're so focused anyway. You never really hear music being sung in the background.
Yeah.
So you don't really hear the tune because you're so focused. I think that's mainly for the crowd. Kind of pumps the crowd up. You know. So I don't really mind music or no music.
Yeah.
You just want to go in there and get the job done in the ring. I don't think it's going to help you in the fight. It's not going to help you in the fight, so yeah.
It might if you pick a song that your opponent...
It gets scared.
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I'm sure like the opponent's so focused anyway. Like now, you could ask me a question. Do you remember, like, would I remember my last opponent, which was Devin Alexander's? Do I remember Devin Alexander's ring tune?
Right.
I'd be like, no. So the reason I remember my own is because obviously my team picked that song. And I've used it before, but do I remember my opponents? So really, see, you don't focus on stuff like that because they're you got bigger worries in the ring.
Yeah.
You don't want to get punched in the face. I mean, you're worrying about that more than anything.